champion, always ready, Matt Cardona.
This is the Man Scout, James Henning.
This is Trust Fund benefactor Jerry Silver Light.
What's up, everybody? This is the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers.
And you're watching
The Wrestling
N.R.D. Broadcast. Watch new episodes of the broadcast on YouTube every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Miami time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, Tom says hi.
You're watching the Wrestling N.R.D. broadcast. Now here's your hosts, Tom, Nick, Ryan, and Dave. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. It's you, it's me, it's N.R.D. Uh-huh. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is T&D. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 118 of the Wrestling N.R.D. broadcast. And fun fact, the 300th video on this channel. If you really want to have some wild times, go check out, like, the weird videos I did before I got really into wrestling YouTube. That's some wild stuff. But if you are new here, welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We are expecting a lot of new viewers on this episode because the Nerds teamed up with New Northeast Wrestling this past weekend for Spring Slam. We had a blast there. The photos should be up by now on our Facebook page and our Instagram, so make sure you check us out there, the Wrestling N.R.D. broadcast on Facebook and Instagram. This was so much fun. When I tell you, I felt like a legitimate podcaster. Like I felt like Dave LaGreca, almost, levels of stardom. Like I ran into a couple people that I knew. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's Dave," so that I knew already. So that helped like hype me up. But like we had our own meet and greet table. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something, dear?
Are you recording?
Yes, we're recording.
I want to give a shout out to the very nice lady who subscribed while I was manning the people by myself.
That's right. Danielle got a subscriber. So if you're the one watching that she made subscribe, welcome to the broadcast.
Taking it home.
Danielle gets the views. So we appreciate you, Ben. Thank you. But yeah, so we had our own meet and greet table, which I'm like, so we got a message from Cameron. So shout out to Cameron Coe, who has been our liaison through all this. Deserves a raise because he's just amazing. He like messaged me Saturday morning. It was like, hey, do you guys have like stuff you can give away? Like we'll have a table for you if you want to do like that. Or when I'm like, oh, okay. So I just like took all like the pogs and slammers and buttons and stuff that I collected or not. I'm like, okay, we'll just make something out of this. And we were just telling people like, yeah, if you subscribe, you can have a button or a sticker or whatnot. And I just found a Spotify playlist of like wrestling themes and just had it blasting. And conveniently, our table was like next to the line for food, so people like had to come by us, and they're just jamming out to music. And they're like, what is this, a podcast? I'm like, yeah, we're on YouTube, my man. Subscribe, check it out, grab a sticker or something. It felt real like, I know we joked that we like started this during lockdown, and it's just been something fun for us to do that we're very dedicated. But it felt very vindicating and rewarding last night. Like it felt like we're a legit big deal. Even though like I jokingly say we're not, we're kind of a big deal, everybody. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the fun.
It's funny is when people ask about the show, they're like, oh, like you guys have a big following. And I'm like, we have a following, but I think it's unique in the fact that it's like dedicated people like that. Yep. Like it's not just numbers. And that's what I appreciate about what we do is, again, it's not just numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. So we definitely have a dedicated group of Patreons too. Like they're the OGs who've been there from the beginning. So we thank everyone for all their support. Everybody that stopped by and said hello and is subscribed, that we met at the show. And I also have to give a very.
Did anybody want to chop you at this table? Did anybody come by?
No, but Dan Moff definitely shot me some evil eyes at one point, and I was a little nervous. I can't.
We know if we were like, maybe next time we'll get like an auction going, or like a silent auction to see who gets to chop Dave and intermission.
Listen,
well, if I come out to the next
maybe
one,
a fundraiser of sorts, maybe, or something. I mean, I got some ideas.
Yeah, all that money goes towards my medical bills.
We do an auction of a bowl of plain spaghetti, and you get to hit me in the chair.
It's you, it's me, it's spaghetti. Let's go. We'll have a little food fight action.
I want to get a hat that just says spaghetti on it.
Hey, ProWrestlingTees.com. the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. Let's make it happen. I think we
Spaghetti
could.
time.
Spaghetti
time.
nerd. Spaghetti nerd. Boom. There it is. Spaghetti nerd. Hashtag spaghetti nerd. Put it in the comments there, Mr. Hodap. But no, so funny story, speaking of damn off. There came a point where they're running down the town and saying that Poughkeepsie's terrible and whatnot. And this is what I always find funny about wrestling shows, because 90% of the people that go to a show are not from the town the show is in. Like anytime I would go to a show in New Jersey, be like, "Oh, I can't wait to get out of this state. It's terrible." And I'm like, "Hey, no complaints here. I hate this state too. I can't wait to get out of here too." No offense, Tom. But so Danny Moff, for those of you who don't know, is known as the Bayonne Badass from Bayonne, New Jersey. And so his manager Vito is like yelling, people running it down, and I'm like, "Yo, he's from New Jersey. Just stop it." And he goes, "I'm from Poughkeepsie." He's like, "And you're from Poughkeepsie." I'm like, "No, I'm from Wappingers, bro. Get out of here." And then a guy 3 rows in front of me goes like, "I'm from Wappingers too. Aren't you? You're from the podcast. What's your Instagram?" And he subscribed. So shout out to him. We followed him back as a courtesy. So shout out. Hopefully he's watching this as well. But yeah, it was just really cool to interact with people last night. Like we were talking wrestling like we do on the show. A lot of people. I saw a guy, and I sent it to you guys, in a sweatshirt that was CM Punk eating a muffin, and it just said, "It's muffin time."
Yeah.
Best dressed guy of the night. That and the gentleman who's wearing the chalk line bedazzled Macho Man jacket, which was just amazing as well. Giving the Machoverse a run for his money. By the way, if you don't follow the Machoverse on Instagram, go find him. His trip to Italy. His trip to Italy was amazing. This man went to Italy and still cut Macho promos. It was fantastic. But no, so we got to meet Kurt Angle, got to meet Will Hobbs. I'm sorry, Powerhouse Hobbs. I don't want to get killed out here. We got to meet Ricky Starks, got to meet Flip Gordon, and of course, we once again got to tell Takeshita that Tom said hi. It was an honor. And speaking of Takeshita, once again, tore the house down with JT Dunn. Like this match, like the first one, just kind of started off like slow and not as exciting, but then they were like, "Hey guys, let's go to level 20," and just start beating each other senseless, and it was amazing. They are two of the greatest matches I've ever seen live and in person. Like there's no build, there's no story. It is just really good wrestlers doing really good wrestling. And like I noticed, and I just love that like Takeshita will just start like running slow and then just jolts like Sonic the Hedgehog out of nowhere, and it's so great to watch. And again, super friendly to me.
Did Starks and like Hobbs wrestle, or were they just like meet and greets?
They met. So Will Hobbs defended the TNT title against Wrecking Ball Legursky, who's a Northeast Wrestling homegrown guy. He's also with the NWA Power. As well. And then Ricky Starks fought QT Marshall in the main event, which was a lot of fun, because it's one of those things like QT is like I don't want to say he's a jobber to the stars, because the dude can wrestle really well. But like you forget when you see these guys get squashed on TV, or like they're on Dark Elevation, you're not watching that. You forget how good you have to be on that level. So when you put him in a ring with Ricky Starks, like they had a great match. It was fun. Yeah. And there was, and obviously Hobbs came out to support QT Marshall, got ejected at one point, tried to throw the belt in and whatnot. Just like on the cruise, got to see Ricky's rear end again. So half of Poughkeepsie sang "Moon Over Miami" last night at the Civic Center. It was pretty enjoyable.
I'm missing a lot by not living by you.
Yes, seriously, I have seen Ricky Starks' ass on land and at sea, and oh my baby, NRD. And then, they wrestled. Kurt Angle just did an appearance at the meet and greet. Didn't do anything in the ring or during the show. Jimmy Hart came out, welcomed everybody. He mentioned like all the history at the Civic Center, because WWE used to run regular shows there all the time. They had a lot of big moments. Hogan, Piper, Dusty, King Kong Bundy, Bam Bam. They've all run through that building. So, and like I said, it was very special to me because 30 years ago, I saw my first wrestling match. I saw The Undertaker versus Razor Ramon in that show. The main event was Big Boss Man versus Nails. Oh, it was fantastic.
Hard times.
It really was.
Hard times.
Hard times, baby. Serving hard times. Well, that was, let's see. Yeah, they had to have been going towards something because I remember Virgil, so SummerSlam 92 was the first pay-per-view I ever watched. And Virgil fought Nails at Wembley at that show. And because he was standing up for the big boss man, and Nails just choked out Virgil. So they must have been like on the road to like that match for Nails and Boss Man. Um, but yeah, I didn't say this yet, but I have to give a special shout out to Danielle and Margaret who helped me put 1,500 nerd cards on display in the Civic Center. We literally all the seats were up because the number for the seat is on the bottom of it. So they're all flipped up, and we just went, nope. And we basically had to play Guess Who, flipping down every seat in the arena so that we could put our business card on every seat.
That's crazy.
Yes, but we did it. We got it done before the doors opened. And it was really cool to just we're just not we didn't like because I didn't want to like bother anyone, but it was cool like seeing wrestlers setting up their tables for meet and greets. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy cow, I'm just here in a casual environment with wrestlers. Like it's kind of like the cruise again. I'm like, oh hey, like me, I literally just walked by Jimmy Hart. And he's like, hey, what's going on, baby? I was like, hey, Jimmy, how are you? Like,
Sounds like
Jimmy Hart said hi to me.
sounds like a Friday at Clearwater Beach to me.
It could be, brother. So yeah, that just the whole night was amazing. So again, if you are new here, welcome to the broadcast. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already done so, because they announced last night that for the first time in 5 years, Northeast Wrestling is bringing Wrestling Under the Stars to now Heritage Financial Park, formerly known as Duchess Stadium, where I worked for 4 years. I saw wrestling there as a child as well. My mom brought me there to meet Dusty Rhodes and Kamala and King Kong Bundy. I went to a show there, went right past the Young Bucks to meet Ric Flair. Had no idea who the Young Bucks were. Didn't care. I walked right past them. I met Lenny Poffo at that show. The Young Bucks wrestled Rey Mysterio and Alberto El Patron. And I walked right past them. Didn't care. Man, what an idiot I was. I wish I could go back in time.
Right.
Oh, man. That was 2000, it was literally the day after Roddy Piper had passed away was that show. So 2016, 17 in that area, I want to say. But so yeah, walked right past Roddy Piper. Walked right past the Young Bucks to see Ric Flair.
There goes our chance of getting the Bucks on the show.
Yeah, I'm so well. Now it's we need to make up for it. So, but then also
should we do a for all the new viewers that we're probably getting now? Should we kind of give them a rundown about like what our show is about and what you'll get when you watch it?
Our show is pure chaos, ladies and gentlemen.
Fighting puppets, lots of Shane McMahon love.
Can I tell you?
Weird spacemen.
Harold has been in my car for like 2 weeks.
Oh, poor Harold.
Good. Folks, for the record, if you don't know who Harold is, Harold is not a human being. Harold is, in fact, the commissioner of our show.
Is this the official Tom heel turn?
No. The people who are watching should know who Harold is. He started off the commercial.
I feel like this crown does something to people. Like, I mean, Tom gets the crown, and all of a sudden Harold's locked up in a car.
Oh, boy.
Tom, this crown just does something to people.
I got 3 weeks. 2 weeks left of grad school this semester, and I am 7 books behind.
Shut up, Harold! Stay in the car.
That's where
I don't have time for your bullshit.
So, folks, if you could leave Tom some love as he tries not to fail out of school here, we need him to be well. Put some love in the comments for Tom.
Give some love to Harold too. Jeez.
Yes, or just get a locksmith to get him out of the car.
You'll survive the trunk, buddy. Don't worry.
So for all you new watchers, new viewers, this is how the show goes. Sometimes we go on tangent. I have puppets. Sometimes I'm French. Sometimes I eat spaghetti. Dave, sometimes we love him. Sometimes we hate him.
It depends.
Nick, sometimes he's in Florida. Other times he's got a baby with him in Florida. Sometimes I don't know. There's this guy named George from space whose background typically looks like Nick's garage.
Well, you know, he comes and films here. I don't know why. He's got money. Because
it's here in Florida. There's no rules.
Yeah.
There really is no rules. I went to Florida. It's
he just sneaks in. I don't even know that he's here. He just sneaks in. I watched the episode like you, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Listen, and even on occasion, we branch out all the way to California. So I'm just saying. To bring it back to that main event that I saw of Nails and the Big Cross Man. It's pretty wild to go full circle. Like you go from California to New York and back to the MJN Convention Center, whatever the hell they call it. It's the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. But folks, August 19th, Wrestling Under the Stars, Hudson Valley Renegades, Heritage Financial Park, the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. Let's make it happen, baby. That's what I say. I'm ready to meet all of you again.
Didn't
and
you
I'm
say
going to be
there's some big
prepared
names?
this time. I'm going to
Pay for
have
my
Morgan.
travel. If you're watching the show, pay for my travel. I'm coming out.
And that's, folks, if you want us to sponsor Northeast Wrestling, it's the best way to do it is to join our Patreon, patreon.com/WNRDB, $1 or $5 a month. If you do the dollar level, you get your name in the credits. If you do the $5 level, I promise patrons, the gifts are coming, pogs, stickers, all sorts of good stuff. We have stuff planned. I promise. We're getting to the post office. We have it all right here. I promise. Those are not thin mints. But yes, or you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. And that's nerd spelled NRD. We've got hats, hoodies, beanies. We've got t-shirts. You got the cash shirt right here. We've got Nick's hat that he's wearing. You could get the classic logo shirt that we had last night. We got a little of everything. We got the Tom Says Hi Raw edition. We got a lot of cool designs on there too. So it's really awesome. But also speaking of merch, I was given I looked for the event poster because it had our logo on. I was like, okay, I want to get it so I can commemorate it, throw it up on the wall before this becomes too old. So I would go to the merchant like, yeah, we don't have any posters. I'm sorry, we had an issue or whatever. I'm like, okay, no problem. Then Cameron at the end of the show messaged me like, hey, I've got something. Just meet me in that corner. And he presented me with this bad boy, which I need to get a frame for. And why do I need a frame for it? Not because of Texas Roadhouse, which I was at tonight. Before we recorded, I went to Texas Roadhouse dinner. We got free appetizer coupons. It's fantastic.
Oh.
But yes, right there above Matt. Am I there? Sort of. I need to flatten out the poster. Our broadcast logo is on a poster, and this is signed by everybody that was a part of the last night's show, which is just really incredible. And it's very vindicating, very rewarding, and I'm honored that they did this. I'm very thankful for this. This is I have a lot of cool memorabilia in my collection, whether it be for wrestling or baseball and whatnot. This poster is one of my favorite items that I own now because it's something we brought together. So it's really cool. And I'm sorry that they only gave us one, guys. So sorry. It's my payment for putting down all those business cards. But yes, of course, check out Northeast Wrestling. They got a lot of great shows coming up. Of course, Matt Taven's defending his heavyweight championship against Kerr in a tables match this Saturday night in Danbury. So check it out, northeastwrestling.com. A lot of great local shows in the Northeast Wrestling. They are the top-notch indie company in the world. So make sure you check them out. Speaking of things we're going to check out this May, Dark Side of the Ring's back, baby.
Ooh, baby.
And they're bringing Doink the Clown.
I gotta say, man, Garrett Gamara tags me in this in the Dark Side of the Ring trailer, and he's like, "Is it Doink?" And it took me 10 minutes to be able to find his comment from clicking on it because I only use my phone for Facebook, and I lost it because they haven't announced that Doink is going to be in it yet.
No,
they announced some of the season, and I'm like, but you've gotta, and it's got to be a Doink episode. It has to be.
Well, I don't know if it's Doink or would it just be Matt Bourne. I don't think it'll be Doink. I think it's going to be a Matt Bourne.
No, I think it's Doink because the fact that there were two Doinks and then the Dinks, but the fact that there were the two Doinks and they were able, the two people that played Doink, Steve, whatever, and Matt, you've got the drama, and then I think they'll go into the Matt Bourne stuff. I think they'll go into the fall of Doink, the everything, and I'm. I get it. It's cool to like Doink now because it's cool. He makes cool figures, whatever. Wow. I hate the Doink hype right now because I can't get a Doink figure for a reasonable amount of money.
Been begging for a Doink brawler for months, years.
Here's the thing, wrestling fans. I like Doink before you did.
Okay, first of all, true. But I also, whenever they released the Smart Mark Sterling Wrestling Micro Brawler, but they did that tease, that's when I said Doink the Clown, and I've wanted it ever since. Just saying.
I've wanted since freaking first crate I got.
Like I like to think that now that we've gotten the Wenominal Swoggle Brawlers, my want of Doink is now the longest running want after that. Like well known. Shout out to Pro Wrestling Tees. Join the Patreon, by the way. If you collect micro brawlers, join our Patreon because for some reason they love us. And one of our patrons has gotten to chase everyone they've dropped. Everyone.
I
Just
think
about.
So.
We got to
So-
stop saying that if you join our Patreon, people are going to get chases because I found as the advent of the brawler group, the people are taking that very literally and being like, "Hey, you got buddy." So if I join your Patreon, I'm going to get a chase, right? I'm like,
Join the
maybe.
Patreon and find out, pal.
I don't,
That's
Well,
it.
no,
maybe.
that's why I always try to comment on it. Of we have no rhyme or reason to back it other than
We have
one of us
statistics.
usually gets a chase.
But
I
if
have
you
a
don't
list
get a
going.
chase, don't come at us because we don't package stuff.
But like we can't guarantee it. But from my calculations, we've got our Patreon group's got a lot of chase figures.
We've gotten at least one. We've gotten Daniel Bryan. I had Conan, Samoa Joe. I can't forget the Samoa Joe one, of course.
Can you still see me or no?
What's
I
that?
see you.
Yeah, I see you. You're
So,
tall.
all right, I minimized the screen. We've gotten Jake, Abdullah, Jarrett, Steamboat, Scotty Goldman, Adam Bomb, Owen Hart, Retro String, Conan, Bret Hart, Samoa Joe, Abdullah, Samoa Joe, Scotty Goldman, Owen Hart, AJ Swoggle, Abdullah, Danielson, Hurricane, Shockmaster, Bret Hart, Flair Limo Ride, and Danielson, Scott Hall, another Wenominal. Like, this is
You can go back to old episodes and see us literally pull chases
Yep.
on the episode live.
Yes, you go back to an episode last summer where Ryan Crossley unboxed like 20 Bret Harts, and we just kept
It
going.
happened with another one too, didn't it? Didn't it happen
Yeah,
with
he
like
did.
Scott
He
Hall
did
or
the
something?
Scott Hall too. Yeah, I forgot that. And if you go back to Margaret's wedding vlog, you can see me unbox the Samoa Joe chase, and I've been trying to sell it ever since.
It's happening.
and
It's
you can
happening.
learn how tall I am.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tom's a tall son of a bee.
No, but
But
like
back
I
to-
don't ever want to deceive people into thinking like we've got some sort. We do not. I repeat, do not have any agreement with Pro Wrestling Tees of getting chases. We do not have any real reason why, other than I think collectively as a group, we're consistently buying micro brawlers.
Yep.
And because there is about a dozen of us, you're bound to get a chase. So we do not have anything to do with
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling Tees and how they send their chases out.
And
Right.
obviously,
Clear
Pro
about
Wrestling Tees is all of the up and up, and they're doing this completely random.
Like,
Yeah.
but like,
there's random as can be.
yeah, I like when it comes to the crates, I can't imagine them matching a chase up with a specific box. The pre-orders, it's probably it's probably a little easier to do. But yeah, we don't have any real reason why.
Yeah.
Just join our Patreon group. It honestly, like, for $5 a month, you're in a really fun group chat, and statistically, we're getting chases.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I don't care about chases because I open all of my brawlers. But if I get a chase, I never ask for a lot of money from someone in the Patreon group
Yep.
that wants a chase or that's 100% completionist. I will be very transparent. It is always offered to Ryan Crossley first.
Yep.
And if me and him can't make a deal or he doesn't need it or whatever, then I will let it loose. So like I got this because I wanted to make sure JP Hooper got a chase.
Yep.
I don't care about this brawler. I love this brawler. I actually like the chase better, the blue. I'm waiting for Ryan to get his box to see if this chase is going to go up for sale. And if you join our Patreon group, it goes to you first for a very reasonable price.
I'll say this too. I ordered 2 Swoggles in hopes that I would get a chase to make sure that JP got one. I got 2 regulars. So I'm going to reach out to Swoggle and I'll see if he'll sign one for me. I'll mail it out to him. I'll pay for the shipping and whatnot. And then
I want JP to sign it.
Well, no, I want it dual signed. I need them both to sign it.
I don't need a
So-
Swoggle signature. I need a JP.
Because I think it'd be
signature,
weird.
man.
Like, I need Swoggle to sign it first. I feel like it'd be like, whose autograph is on this?
Yeah.
Right.
The guy that lobbied for this for 3 years.
I want a JP signed Swoggle, and it's going right up on the wall.
There you
Go
go.
play.
But yeah,
Dark
so
side of the ring.
So,
Dark
Dark Side of the Ring, the
Doink.
micro brawler addiction.
Can I
Well,
just say before we get off
we were in
Doink, I
lockdown
wanted
and we
to
had
say,
nothing to do, so we just started collecting figures, and now it's all I've got.
What
do you
got
guys
about Doink,
think?
Nick?
Do you guys think that on the independent scene, there's like 50 people that are probably doing the Doink gimmick right now,
Oh yes,
like across the world?
there's Doink, Dunk, Dink, Dork.
So one of the guys, Steve, who played Doink, owned a gym in like near Clearwater. My dad lived outside of Tampa,
Ooh.
and that's where I met him when I was a kid. My dad's like, "Hey, Doink the Clown owns his gym. You want to go meet him?" And I'm like,
Maybe.
"Yes."
And he's not in makeup. What?
And
I
he's
can hunt him
not
down.
makeup at all.
We could get Doink on the pod.
Super regular dude who was like so nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So like big shout out to my dad. There were so many cool wrestling opportunities he afforded me. And if they were ever to do a Dark Side of the Ring on my life, it would start with my dad taking me to WrestleMania 10, where everything started going up. And then I split personalities and got two different puppets. One's good, one's bad.
I can hear Chris Jericho now. He was a normal guy until he got that crown. Then he locked Harold in the trunk.
Tom Sasso was saying hi, but then he said bye to being a good guy. I just remember Tom.
Did he really mean hi?
He only says hi to felons now.
But so back to Dark Side of the Ring. I saw Garrett's post. How he tagged you in it. So they mentioned Doink, or they don't mention anyone by name. But going off the silhouettes of who's there, you see a guy carrying him out with a wig, so we're assuming that's Doink. You see the guy with a mustache pulling up on a motorcycle. I would assume that's Magnum TA. You see a guy with a chain. It looks like Junkyard Dog. And then somebody talks about being a quadriplegic. So I would assume potentially that's about Draws.
Yeah.
Which
I've seen like a Bam Bam Bigelow. Like a Chris Candino and Sonny was supposedly another one I've seen on the list.
They're definitely doing Sonny because they're talking about the car accident in Keensburg, New Jersey, one town over from where I grew up.
Shout out, Tom. Those all seem like very good episodes. I feel like the Draws one will be the most emotional. I mean, for me personally, because I can say selfishly, I mean, I got to meet Draws when I was in 5th grade at the Olive Garden. It's the same day it's the same day. Fun story for those of you who don't know this story. But, and of course, let us add your story to the pod as well. In 5th grade, was it 4th? I think it was 4th grade going into 5th grade. My family went to Cape Cod for a week, and we went to the Olive Garden, and I went to the bathroom. And I wound up going next to Ken Shamrock. And then I realized it was him. And I walked back to see my mom. I did not walk. I ran like an irresponsible child, almost bumped into a waiter. I'm so sorry. And I noticed Draws was with him too. And so I got to take a leak next to Ken Shamrock, and I got to meet them both. And they signed my placemat. So Draws was a super nice guy. He was like, it was a kids menu at Olive Garden that you had to like draw yourself on. And he's like, "Did you draw this? That's really good, man." I'm like, "Oh man, Draws thinks my art's good." My art is terrible, folks. So Draws lied to me, but he made me feel like a superstar.
Another
if you go
thing
back to earlier episode. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Everything good happens over a spaghetti dinner.
There we go.
There you go, folks.
But I was going to say, some of our early episodes, I think we had a whole segment about
wrestlers you go to the bathroom next to.
Yeah, that's another thing you can go back to.
I've gone next to MVP at WrestleCon. The key, folks, though, is don't pull a Roman Reigns and acknowledge them while you're there. You're straightforward.
Hello.
Like, hey, is this this is the weirdest meet and greet I've ever been at, huh?
Yeah.
You always have conversations while at the urinal. Always.
Absolutely.
No.
Don't space it out. Go right up next
right
to
next to each other.
Eyes forward. Skip a stall if you can.
No.
I am.
It's really awkward if you're in the bathroom at the same time as somebody and there's only one toilet. Like, hey, buddy.
Here's a little TMI. I think standing up to pee is a waste of my time. I'm going to the bathroom. I want to sit down. I sit down almost exclusively to go to the bathroom. There's certain public restrooms I will not sit down in. I love the idea as a grown man just fully dropping trow at the urinal. Like pants to the ankles, booty hanging out, and just going and like hands up. And just going.
Just asserting your dominance.
Playing a little.
So if you're new here, let us know what your policy on going to the bathroom is. Please don't unsubscribe.
This is a dark
This is
side of
the
the ring in the
chaos,
making.
folks. This is the chaos we have all the
So
time.
speaking of Dark Side of the Ring,
It was a
Dark
normal
side- yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, so Tom went to the bathroom next to Takeshi, just pulled his pants
dropped
down, hands
down.
in the air.
starts dancing. And he's eating spaghetti too.
Tom's in there with a fucking Stouffer's spaghetti TV tray in the back. I just picture that. That's no, you know what? That's a rap album cover, Tom. If you and your band ever get back together, it's just Tom in the stall. Like he's just in there, just with a bowl of spaghetti sitting on the toilet.
He's heating it with the air dryer on the wall.
Yeah, I gotta heat this up. Oh, you're gonna throw it in the microwave? No.
Imagine how much better my life would be if I brought a bowl of spaghetti everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Folks, we're gonna make a spaghetti nerd hat. We gotta make something with like Tom. It says Tom says hi, written in spaghetti. Or like it's written in the marinara
by a
sauce.
bowl of spaghetti.
So much.
It's
Love
written
spaghetti so much.
Yes, go back and watch last week's episode, folks. We had a nice spaghetti dinner with JP Hooper. But yes, Dark Side of the Ring's coming in May. We can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Do we have a top 3 Tuesday?
Hold on, we didn't even talk about what we want on Dark Side of the Ring.
Top 3 Tuesday, Dark Side of the Ring episode you want.
Perfect.
Okay.
Number 1 for me is gonna be Tom's downfall as the king. Tom's spaghetti dinner.
Yeah. You know, wellness check on Harold soon.
Yeah, Harold is Dark Side of the Trunk, starring Harold.
Not 3 times if you're okay, buddy.
Yeah, if you're driving in Holland, Michigan, and you're driving behind a Vespa, and all of a sudden the basket pops up, like help! I'm being puppet napped.
Harold jumping out of it, just spaghetti flying out.
It's like the game Perfection. That's all I see. It's just pasta everywhere. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs, starring the nerds.
This is went off the rails.
It really is.
God.
Dark Side of the Ring.
New
Olive
viewer,
Garden.
welcome.
Welcome.
Yes. So if you're new here,
Dark Side of
we
the Ring,
hope
I
you
got
love
it.
the chaos that is this show. We'll have a top 3 Tuesday next week, I promise. But let us know what you're looking forward to on Dark Side of the Ring in May. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Northeast Wrestling
have
Spring
one.
Slam. You have one what?
I just have one
I have
that
2.
I would like to see made.
Oh God, what is it?
Well, there was this dark day a couple weeks ago on WrestleMania Night 2 where it started off at a real big high. And the people were just clamoring. They were like, Shane McMahon. Shane. Then the music hit. Here comes the money. He danced. Everybody rejoiced. The greatest WrestleMania moment ever. And then the darkness of leapfrogs. He got involved with the league. See, kids, just don't get involved with leapfrogs if you're watching this. Just keep the lead. There, see? Oh, my quad hurts. Just the third song.
Can you hear it? I don't know. Okay,
But
let me stop that before we get demonetized.
I
the
have
dark
2
side
real
of
ones.
oh, that was real. That was good.
Sure. I would love
Okay.
them to do a Dark Side of the Ring, the La Parka story.
That would be cool.
And I would love for them. Oh God, who was it? Oh my gosh, where'd he go?
Coco Beware.
No. Oh shoot. Vader. I feel like
Vader.
Vader's got like a weird story in history where if they did a Dark Side of the Ring with Vader, the Japanese stuff, your eyeball can't fall out. Your eyelids can retract back. Your eyeball can't go forward. Yeah, if they did a Dark Side of the Ring with Vader, I think that would be really cool because then they could do it. Also talk about Boy Meets World.
Yes. Shout out to that.
But before are we signing off?
I haven't given a top 3.
No one cares.
Well, I'm giving my top 3. I want to go with Brawl Out. I think that'd be fun. It's muffin time, baby. Because you know what somebody said? You know how you sell out Wembley? You show the security footage in the arena. Like the guy, the Muffin Time shirt said that. He's like, yeah, they should show that match. Like that's the match. It's a cinematic match.
Yeah.
Obviously, what the hell happened with Vince McMahon this past year?
Yeah.
Like, dude came back like LeBron's hairline. And then
My hairline.
I think an interesting story is just like how Impact has stayed afloat for 20 years. Like they've just been dead and buried and then come back and they're. So I think that'd be an interesting story to tell as well. So that's my top three. So Tom, before we sign off, what do you got?
I have become like sometimes when people are overwhelmed with life and depressed, they just buy things. Yeah, that's me. So I've really enjoyed Whatnot lately.
Oh boy.
And I just recently purchased 2 masks off of the Lucha Libre Superstore, which is a really fun show. A mask, I'll show you this one first. It was not one that I planned on buying, but it's a really cool Pentagon mask. Really fun.
It is
kind
really
of
sweet.
glittery blue, really cool, like translucent colors, or I don't know what the word is, but colors. But the mask I've been looking for a really, really long time, and I've not been able to find anywhere.
It's time. It's time. It's time to say hi. It's
and I will acknowledge it's not a perfect mask.
I'm getting like Mankind vibes from you, Tom, when you put that on.
I said it looks like a ripped up mask from Jushin Liger.
And no, but like, so it seems like I'm guessing the guy gets these from like Mexican street masks, like, but quality wise, the Vader one's fine, but I've wanted a Vader mask for years. So Lucha Libre Superstore on Whatnot, crazy fast shipping. Things are packaged really well. Phenomenal prices, like phenomenal prices on masks. So if you just collect them to display them, you don't want like a pro grade mask. You want like a mid-range kind of graded mask for a really good price. I got to give the guy a shout out. I don't know his name, but really good working with him. I've nothing but good things to say.
Awesome. So yeah, everyone check him out on Whatnot. Like we said, check out northeastwrestling.com. A lot of great shows coming up. August 19th, Heritage Financial Park. Will we be there? We'll let you know. But yeah, of course, you can just support the show, support the broadcast by checking out our Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/the Wrestling Nerd Broadcast. That is nerd spelled NRD. Of course, patreon.com/WNRDB. $1 a month, $5 a month. You're going to get some great stuff. Join a great community in our Facebook group there, our chat. That's great as well. Of course, you can simply support us for free by clicking that subscribe button. Literally, you hit that subscribe button. It lets us know that people are interested. The more people that are interested, the more work we put into this show. So check it out. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And of course, like I said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Make sure you let Tom know in the comments below that you say hi to him because not enough people do that. How you doing, Jonathan Odap? But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of the broadcast, episode 118, the 300th video on this channel. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the friends and fans and the nerds that came out and said hello to us at Northeast Wrestling this past weekend. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. On behalf of myself, DaveCTheVoice, the founding father, Mr. Nick Carpenter, the man who handles Harold, maybe, Mr. Tom Sasso. He is the king of the
out of the trunk.
I'm sorry. Oh, Tom, I didn't even give you your proper introduction. His Royal Says Highness. I'm so sorry. Don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because, like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone. God bless America.
Tom says hi.